In this video, we are going to talk about getting our combined data from the raw data field into the starter charts Excel so that we can begin to analyze our data. If you'll notice that we have a combined file in each of the different workbooks. In the starter chart workbook, this is fake data, so we want to replace it with your real data. In Excel can recognize a range of data as a table. So if we look at the combined table in the starter charts and we click on the table tab, you're going to notice that it has a table name of table 1. All of these charts are referring to table 1. So if we name our table from our raw data file that we just put together and combined, if we call this a table and we call it table 1, it's going to automatically recognize it in all of our different charts. So to do this in Excel, from the Home tab, there should be an option to format your data as a table. And you can pick whatever color scheme you'd like. It's going to ask you if your row has headers, and then it is going to automatically assign it a table name. And this is also called table 1, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want. So now the next step is to move this tab, combined workbook, over to the other tab. And the way you do that is by the tab name at the bottom. You right click on it and there will be an option to move or copy sheet. And we want to move it, and we want to not move it to one of our sheets that we currently have. We want to move it over to a different workbook. So if we click on the drop-down menu, it's going to identify all of your open workbooks. So in order for this to make it work, you're going to want to have your raw data file open, and you're also going to want to have your starter charts open so that you can move it over to starter charts. And we're going to put it in front of the current combined. Since there already was a combined file, it's going to give it a new name, and this is helpful so that we know which one to get rid of. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of the original one with the fake data, so we can delete it. And then we can go ahead and rename this one to get rid of that too. If we go ahead and look at our table name now, it's called table 13. We want to rename that because we want to call it table 1. So that when we go to any of our tabs, all we need to do is go ahead and refresh our pivot table. So in your pivot table section, if you click on pivot table, there will be a refresh option. And if you refresh it, then it will automatically update with your data. I have not entered data yet, so this is blank, but if you go through this process, once you have all of your data in there, if you go to each one of the tabs and select inside the pivot table to activate the pivot table tab, and then from the pivot table tab, you click refresh, it will go through and automatically update each table with your data.